Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This time around, I'm going to be doing a review for The Red Turtle. It's the newest Studio Ghibli / French animated film. It came out at Sundance and Cannes earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken. And it's an animated silent film, so the only thing I could tell you right now, cast-wise, would really beat the director, and it is Michael the Duke de Witt. It's a French guy, so hopefully I got that correct. So, yeah, I mean, aside from a few grunts and yells, for the most part, it's a silent film. So, yeah. Besides the point, 10-second spoiler warning as usual. For those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, stop the video, go check it out, and come back here and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up, so for those who have yet to actually watch this movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me that I never give you fair warnings. As usual, I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So basically you have this guy, this man, it's an unknown guy, we don't know his name, and he lands on this island. He is shipwrecked, and he manages to swim over to this island. As he is trying to build rafts to get away from this island to survive and go back to his mainland, I'm assuming France or Japan, because Studio Ghibli and then the director is French, so either or. But just to get back to the mainland and society, he makes these rafts, and as he's swimming with the rafts, this red turtle keeps destroying his rafts, and he gets angry. Eventually, the red turtle comes onto the mainland, and it seems like it's about to die or whatever, and it seems like this man puts the finishing blows on this turtle and may have possibly killed the turtle. And yeah, come to find out that the turtle turned into a woman through mysterious circumstances that we do not know. It turns into a woman, and afterwards the man and the woman have a baby, and the baby eventually grows up and somehow manages to leave his parents because he's able to swim with some other turtles. And then at the end, we have the man who dies at the end very peacefully, and the woman, who is his wife at this point, goes back into the sea as a red turtle. And it's a really artsy film. There's no denying, this is an artsy film. Okay, it was in Cannes, it was in Sundance. What the hell do you expect? So yeah, it's a really artsy film, and that's one of those things that I really do like about it. And this is one of those things that may turn some people off. The fact that it is so artsy. There's many things that could turn a lot of people off from this movie. The fact that it's a silent film. The way it's animated could turn some people off. Okay? And just the overall story of it that kind of makes no sense. Superficially, it makes no sense. But as you actually get deeper into the meanings, it makes a lot of sense in my opinion. And that's what I like about it. The fact that as you kind of peel back the layers and understand what this movie is actually about, you really do get to enjoy this movie. And just from a superficial level, I understand why some people may not like it. One, it's a silent film, so automatically that already turns some people off because some people find silent films to be boring, but whatever. Okay, two, I can see people being turned off by the way it's animated. If they're not used to this style of animation. And even after that, it's not your typical Studio Ghibli animation either. There were some landscape shots where I thought they used, I think it's called rotoscope. I want to say, I'm not completely sure. It's like the thing they used for Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where you have animated superimposed over a realistic background, like an actual background. I thought they did that for some of the shots, and the animation here is beautiful, but I do see some people being turned off by the animation because of the way it is. So yeah, I mean, and it's a silent film, and again, this is based on French folklore, if I'm not mistaken, or French folklore or something like that, or a French fantasy story or whatever. So it's kind of based on that, and it's a really interesting story because at first when you think it's probably going to be a man versus nature type of movie where you have this man trying to get off the island, but then this turtle that's red, this red turtle that doesn't want him to escape, when he keeps doing that, and when the turtle keeps trying to prevent this man from escaping, you think, oh crap, it's going to be a man versus wilderness, a man versus nature type of story, kind of like Castaway, kind of like Life of Pi, but then it kind of turns into more of a movie where it's man with nature, and you have, again, through weird circumstances, you have the man who marries the turtle after she turned into a woman, and it just becomes beautiful, and these people, because again, the woman, the man, and the child are able to survive in such a pretty incredible environment, and the environment here is also just the way it is. Aside from the animation, just the island itself is pretty great because you have the sea. You have the sea on the all around it. So it's an island. You have the beach. Then you have these bamboo forests, which also look amazing. And then you have these hills, some pretty cool cliffs, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, overall, it's an incredible movie. Definitely do check it out. And it is one of those movies you are going to want to rewatch, just to, again, understand sometimes some of the meanings. Because, again, you may miss some things throughout it. Possibly, I'm pretty sure that the woman turning into a turtle and vice versa, it does have a meaning for something. Like, I'm pretty sure that is something important. I'm gonna have to rewatch it to understand, maybe understand more as to why it turns into a turtle. What's the meaning behind that? But I feel like that's the biggest mystery. What's the meaning behind that? The turtle turning into a woman, and then the woman turning into a turtle towards the end. But yeah, overall, it's a great movie, and just the emotion it leaves you and the impact it leaves you with, it's just great because at first you feel like you really want this guy to get the fuck off this island, but then this turtle is like, you're kind of laughing because this turtle is preventing him from getting off the island. Some of the crabs and some of the other sea animals are kind of funny in the way they interact with the man, but then you also got these horror scenes. I'm not saying like they're horror, like, oh my gosh, that's so fucking gory or scary, oh my gosh, I can't watch. No, but it's like more of a thriller type of feeling where you have this one scene where there's like giant tsunami and you're just wondering, are they dead? What's going on? What the hell's going on? Oh my gosh, I'm scared for them. And it's kind of like that. So I really did like it. And the fact that it's just silent film, just, again, aside from a few grunts and a few yells, it's mostly the silent film. And I really do think this works for it because it's able to show that even through silence, even through silence, you're still able to convey the same type of emotion that you would as if it were to be talking, if this was a talkie. So I really did like that. And the score for this movie, when it comes to silent films, you kind of need to talk about the score because that's the major element of sound in the movie. And the score for this movie, it's pretty good in my opinion. I really did like it because, again, with the emotions, it's able to keep up those emotions. So when it's comedic, it's kind of more lighthearted. But when it's like the horror thriller scene with the tsunami, you're like, oh my gosh, the music's swelling up, and it is pretty good in my opinion. A bit creepy at times, which again does work to its advantage. And yeah, overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. Overall, a great movie. Just a bit of one complaint, I will say it is a bit of a slow start towards the beginning. Like the first 5 to 10 minutes were a bit slow, but aside from that, it's a near perfect movie. And yeah, that's basically it for now. Subscribe, comment down below, like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.